begin?
Yeah, I will let you know.
Okay, thank you.
We're ready. Hi, good morning, everybody, and welcome to our weekly webinar. Thank you all again for joining. It's good to see so many new faces and familiar faces as well, and names. Welcome also to our speaker today, Ahmed Sumahoro, who is a meteorological engineer.
Yeah. Okay.
Sorry, apologies for that. So welcome to our speaker today from Cote d'Ivoire. So we've had a number of these sessions so far, and hopefully they've been suitably diverse and interesting for all of you. So we've looked at policy, we've looked at broad themes. Today we're going to look at a case study. One of the things that we wanted to do with the network is to bring like-minded users together to talk about some of their shared problems and shared solutions. And one of the best ways of doing that is via looking at what's going on at a localized level. So today, Ahmed, who works for the Cote d'Ivoire Hydromet office, is going to talk about a particular project he worked on, which is meteorological and climatological assistance to water resources users in Cote d'Ivoire. As usual, he will present and then we will have time for questions at the end. Please feel free to post your questions in the chat box or the Q&A section, and we can ask Ahmed at the end of his presentation. Okay, thank you very much, and over to you, Ahmed. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, Gwen, and good morning, everyone, for joining this webinar. I'm very pleased to present this subject about this case. It's a kind of case, a real case in Cote d'Ivoire. So it's about meteorological assistance to water resources users. So we try to, if you see my screen. Okay, so it's a kind of, before I will show you, I will talk about the observation network presentation, because it's with this our network observation that we can do this kind of assistance through at national level. Yeah, I want to say. So. And after this presentation, I will talk to you about the assistant presentation. How is it done in our place here? So yeah, as many countries in the world, you know, our country is impacted by natural hazard, flooding, land movement, drought, bushfires, coastal erosion, due its for its geographical location. So to make people and the environment resilient to various hazards, it is very necessary to use meteorological, climatic, and hydrological information to create knowledge, develop decision-making tools such as multi-hazard early warning systems. It's very important, most specifically in this case of study, it's to give relative meteorological information for management of water resources. So in our national level, we work with forestry and water ministry or energy ministry and other. So you can see. So our network of observation is, I want to say, more powerful. So we have 45 climatological stations where 33 are automatic and 14 synoptical stations. So with that, add to that, we have 300 rain gauge stations, and 9 are automatics, but many more dense. Yeah. So all those are grouped in climate data collection network. Yeah. That for that we use the innovative processing tools and software too. So add to that, we have to notice that some partners have some stations from there. So we use the stations from our partners too to implement to our network observation network. And I want to say too that we had 3 stations in national level, which is Boaké, Bondoku, Tabu, that are classified as a centenary station by WMO. So it's to notice that we have a centenary data collections in this station. So here you can see our meteorological observation system network in 2019. So you can see many, how the network is so much important. And yeah, so here you will see stations synoptic from our for Sodexam. Also in green, in point green, rain gauge station, and in coarse red, the agroclimatical automatic stations. So if you continue here, you could see, here we are talking about water resources. So in Cote d'Ivoire, you have to notice that we have 11 big river basins, and you could see them here. So you have Niger Basin, you have Bandama Basin, Komoé, Sassondra, Kavali, Agnebi, Bugo, Sampedo. So, but for main one, I want that you notice that Bandama is the one which is properly in Cote d'Ivoire country, because the other one we share it with other country transboundary countries. So if we continue, you will see that we have to manage our data and use our data with the transboundary data for doing a better assistance. So here it's some automatic synoptic station that we have, and yeah. So in our airport station platform, you could see them, and here it's our satellite observation stations. So you could see it's the place where we do our we get our satellite transmission as EUMETSAT, ECMWF, and atmospheric models that we analyze each time to make our forecasting. So here you have the EUMETSAT antenna and AMSD platform where we can have the canopy observation. So here, as I've told you in the first, is our climatological data collection. So you can see that for rainy, subnatic, climatological, and hygrometeorological frequency of observation start days since 1901, as I've said, and for hygrometeorological until 1983. So it's a long series of climatic data available we used for our assistance and to improve it also for our users. So now we come to assistance presentation. So how is it? I told you about the network observation. So through this network observation for warning, for satellite, for each data that we can have in this flow of data that we have in our data control, so we can make analyze around the national level. So here you could see the major flooding of the Marway River Basin in 2018. So it's a case, a reality case that it happens in 2018, and then you could see here this basin, Marway, which is very, we had a major flooding. So now we had a natural hazard because it destroys many houses from the villagers, because it's a rural place where some plantations were destroyed, and some very some deaths too. So it's a real case that we have to give the reason to make the analyze and to know how this case was appeared. So with our data, we give one situation, national situation, and if you could see it was around. If we take about volume, it's around 6 billion cubic meter over a surface area of 21,586 kilometers square. So it shows how in 26 days the rain in this place until 18 August to 12 September, we had a volume of 6 billion over a surface of 21,000. So it shows how the rain in this period was too much and too heavy, because so now we are improved a hydrometeorological monitoring for catching this kind of I want to say hazard, and to make one alert when he has to come, yes, so to prevent it. So in this object, with hydrological service, we did some bulletins. So some bulletins will make an alert to prevent people which live around the basins, and it was very good, very important to do it together. So the main objective of this operation early warning system will be to monitor and anticipate water movement, and then issue warning sufficiently early so that the necessary measures can be taken in good time. So if you could see this both images, you could see the cumulative difference between 1918 and 2017 to show you how the difference was very important in this period of 26 days. So if you continue here, it's another exceptional situation that we got in the Comoé Basin in 2019. So you see here the configuration of the basin of Comoé, and here the graph shows you the cumulative average rainfall in the Comoé River Basin from 16 August to 25 October 2019. So it's compared with average rainfall during the period from 1983 to 2019. So more than 30 years of observation make together to show I want to say the importance of a situation that happened in this period of 16 August to 75 October. So when we do the buffer analysis, you can see that here we have more than 750 millimeters, 750 millimeters around here. And also in native, you can see the cumulative average rainfall, which is more than every year for last years, for other years. So it's a real case of exceptional rain detection. So this is a kind of expertise that in our in National Meteorological and Hydrological Service we did for give in the first time one answer to what is happened, and also to anticipate it through the bulletin that we have to disserve for people of deciders, decision makers. So you can, it's a real example here. So this exceptional situation in 2019, you can see from Marawe here, in this place, so you see the house are flooding, and also here the planting, many hectares of plantings are very impacted. Here is the case, I can say the case reverse, when we get drought, a long series of drought. So when we get a spell of drought, the dams are very empty, and it's difficult for them to make hydroelectricity production. So it's difficult to get energy in this place where the dams are empty, because there's no wind at all. And another place, you can see the range of women who are trying to get water because they have not water in the place. So here it's one impact where we have too much of rain or even rain, and the other place when we didn't have we don't have raining. So the assistance is in the both sides. So when we get even rain and when we don't have rain, so it's for that our assistance is about for user management, water users, and also hydrometeorological dams, hydroelectricity managers too. So and also the agricultural guys who use our bulletin. So now it's a case where for hydroelectric dams. So at national level, we have around 6 basins where we get hydroelectric dams. So you could see Bayo, Kosu, and Tabo, Faye, and Ayame. So during from the day of 22nd June to 1st July, you could see a cumulative rainfall. So it's around 100 to 150 millimeters. So it's when for hydroelectric dams, it's very important for them to know what quantity, what cumulative rainfall they had in the basins, to know how to manage it. Yeah, so they can anticipate the hydroelectric production, and it's very important for them. I had here the map of rainy, but they have two need of temperature map too. So because it's to know how the evaporation tendency and trend can be evolved during this period. So it's a 10 days cumulative rainfall will give them some possibilities to know how to manage the water in their dams. So here it's a situation of last 10 days. Yes, because they have to know the last 10-day situation to know how, I will repeat again, how the water, the rain will affect the dams and how they could manage to for the next 10 days or for the next week. So here you could see how this situation is related, and also here you could have some information around the different basins which are which will be impacted by flooding, also because the main thing with this assistance is to give them the place where we could have some flooding, major flooding or minor flooding, because for them it will be a kind of anticipating thing to manage the dams. And if you could see for the next it's it's a model that we are using, and it's developed by SHMI, and it is carried out every 7 days with an update each time. There is a new alert. It takes into account the history of runoff, the past rainfall situation, and the rainfall forecast by the HAPI models. So with that, we could make our alert. So it gives us a possibility to know every basin in the country or in transboundary countries, because sometimes it's not due only to the rainfall, but also to due to the flow which comes from another country or in another basin which is in another country. So it's very important to have a large view about what happened in transboundary in the limits of the country. So here it's a case which has happened from Tuesday, which it was a forecasting from Tuesday on 9th, 8th September to 22 to Sunday, 13th September 2020. So during this case, you can see that in the northwest, the Niger basin, which has the severity level 3, so major flood risk, and also severity level 2, risk of flooding leading to major overflows. So it's very useful for dams managers, because it's novel, and also for the people around the basin too, because it's sometimes difficult to that they know. And with this information, we can diffuse the alert, and around we have another level of reaction that we call the civil saver. We can operate in the field to give assistance to those people. So here we have Sassandra, Bandama, Komo, Volta, Niger, and Nipwe were in a severity level. So I want to add that it's a FANFA project. As I've said, it's developed by SHMI with agreement center in Niger. So we give us this tool to try to implement in our national level. So it's very useful for us, and it's one tool about what a number of what we use to make our assistance and alert tool. So here I would try explain about the web RRI. It's another tool model for one flow models that we use to improve again our assistance for each basin in our national level for give our assistance and improve our assistance for the managed dams and also for water resources and many others. So here, yes, you have RRI, web RRI, and also I know some guys here can know HMS. Also, it's another tool that we use. As I've said, sometimes we do a kind of expertise for each event when sometimes some guys come to have some information about their lands. The land was, if they want to know if their land are impacted by flooding or no. So sometimes we do a real, I want to say, a real analysis in a position of analysis for giving these information. So now it's another, we continue in forecasting. So one, we give the situation of 7 days or 10 days for flow or for flooding for the next. We give two, the rainfall forecast for the next 7 days. So it's also an analysis that we use the global climate and weather models to do it, and it provides a 7 days situation for next. Yeah. So here, to have for 7 days situation of raining, we give two seasonal rainfall trends. So this is different. It's give 3 months around until 3 months of rainfall trends. So we could have and it's updates each month for it's used also for dams managers and for always to know the production, how we can produce the hydroelectric energy for next, and if the level of water in the dams are good or not good or bad. So all these things are we try with them to give them the best information for them. So yeah. So here I will show you this one situation we can, a real case too. We come when we have a perturbation will come through us. I want to say that it comes always from Ghana. Sometimes it's a local, but sometimes it becomes from for the eastern part. And here you can see one situation. Here we follow the situation, we follow the perturbation until it comes in our part, in our national part. And now we could see from this, if you notice for 2 days on June 2018, you could see the rain that we got. Here it's a rainfall map on Abidjan district. So Abidjan is very urbanized. So it's when we get a little rain, we can have many flooding. So it's some example of what we produce for people, and also to anticipate them when we have to know where's the place where the flooding will be so much according to topography, and also to demography in this place. So Yopougon, if you see here, Yopougon is more red, so more important in flooding case. So here, when we analyze again the situation of 19th of June, you could see that Cocody has the important millimeters, as 302 millimeters in only one municipality. So this situation is very exceptional, and it has destroyed many many things there, and we get sadly, unfortunately, some death, 19 deaths. So it's very it was very important EV rain situation. So here, when we for next, we analyze this data, this rain data. So we call it rotation period. It's another product that we call we send it to our analyze for given to people. So you could see that this daily rainfall, it's a rotation period of 150 years. So now it's important to notice that, because we are really in a climate change situation, because if you know, it's with the other return period, 2 years, 3 years, and but for Cocody, it's a period which normally it's 150 years that we have to meet it. So it's one important thing, because now there's those years, it's this kind of raining of millimeters that we meet now. Yes, the raining from 150 years for 200 years. So the watering period are very, very important now. And yeah, it's very important to monitor it, to announce, to give alarm for the people and for each decision maker for next development, if they want to develop a new system. Yeah. So how the transmission and dissemination of this weather data and products are. So we did it by emails. Our users for those information, sometimes we give it in bulletins, or sometimes in local media, as RTI in the television, RTI, NCI, or others. And sometimes we discuss directly with the dams managers, hydroelectric dams, by telephone calls, or sometimes. And now government are very implied integrate in the dispositif for our early warning system. I want to say it's not total, but it's a dispositif of early warning system. So government information and communication center rely our information for people and for what it must be, for it must knows by people, by people. This center give to them. And we are also in social network for Facebook, Twitter, WhatsApp. So we diffuse our information, which is, I want to say, it is very for the public, but for specific users of water and dams, hydroelectric is another kind of product that we give to them, and it's very I want to say partnership thing. So now I want to talk about the national partners or users, where we work with them, and they use our information, our data. So we have Ministry of Water and Forest, Ministry of Sanitation and donors, because sometimes they use this information for making the canalization, the sanitation, and everything we have to develop the country or the town. Also, national focal structure. As I've said in the last presentation, that we share the some basins with other countries. Yes, so it's a basin transboundary basin. So we have Volta Basin Authority, National Niger Basin Authority, that we work with them, and we try now. We are developing a kind of observatories where we will exchange our information and improve the assistance in those basins. So we have two Ministry of Hydrology, so hydrology direction, because we are not in the same place, but we are working together to improve this assistance. And we have water culture, and here in the last one, here we work with energy national structure. So Cote d'Ivoire Energy will have in charge all the hydroelectric dams in Cote d'Ivoire, and the National Electricity Company, which is also used the data from we come from us for temperature to anticipate to the consumption and the production for user. Because if somebody knows during the last days, the last month, we get here in Cote d'Ivoire some crisis of energy due sometimes of lack of water in the dams. But it's a little story that I want to tell. It's about sometimes the energy company sometimes didn't use I want to say meteorological information. Yeah. So with that, they have to. It was very difficult for them to follow and to monitor the production, and we had this problem. We make so, but now they are very. I want to say now we sign now finally one convention together, because this situation I would say send them to know the importance of meteorology and or climatological information for their activities. Yes, so it's very important to notice it in this presentation. So also we work with universities for research, and to sometimes we use the results of the research to make I want to say to make a better assistance to our users. So here it's another kind of network system observation. I don't know if someone here knows it. It's a station, but as a parabol, we will capture we capture warning by signal, by TV signal. So this parabol will be installed around all the country. So it's a project, but it has already begun. So with that, we will have an important network of warning of data of rain around I want to say the south part of Cote d'Ivoire, but maybe with next year, next month, we spread it around the national level part. So also with VGClim, which is Vigilance Climatic and Meteorology, it's another project we will give us the opportunity to modernize, modernize our network. All the meteorology system in Cote d'Ivoire, and it will be very the network observation network will be more dense. And now also we are make part of urban sanitation and resilience project. We make also a kind of which is another part to improve and to show our data and our expertise about users for water management users, and for developing system for resilience of people. So to finish here, it's very changes due to land use and increasingly recurrent extreme river events frequently cause flooding of river in the country, main catchment areas. So also climate variability sometimes cause significant rainfall deficit, which have a correlate with the decline in water resources. This has caused a decrease in electricity coverage at the national level for people, as I've said. So thus, hydrometeorological monitoring is necessary both in the rainy and dry seasons. Yes, it's very important to notice it. What we're doing with hydroelectric dams managers and water resources managers from the whole country. So I want to finish here and say you thank you for your kind expression. If you have any questions, be free to ask. Thank you.
Thank you. And we do have a few questions. Before we deal with the questions, I just wanted to give the audience a heads up. Firstly, thank you for attending. We have a couple of aligned events taking place. One is next week and one is a way off in October, but I just wanted to give you an idea of what we'll be dealing with. So in October, on the 26th and 27th, we have a river and river basin event, which is shaping up to be interesting. Globally focused, but there will definitely be an Africa component to that. But next week on the 14th, so that's next week on Wednesday, we have an early stage funding seminar, which is based around Africa case studies and really aimed at African Met Services. So if a good chunk of the audience would like to join us for those two opportunities, it would be great to see everybody there. As I said at the beginning of this, we're trying to foster a real sense of community, and at some point we want to move on from these sort of pure webinars to holding working groups, and so we can actually get some real discussion going. But Amma, thank you very much. That was really interesting. I do have a couple of questions. I do have some questions coming in from the audience. So starting with one from Bailing Lee. Hi, Bailing, good to see you here. Do you use a hydrological model for predicting floods?
Yeah, I can answer.
Yes, please. Yeah.
Yeah. Thank you. Let's see, Mr. Gwen will ask this question. So I say that in my presentation, yes, I thought that we use hydrometeorological models. That what the other one was developed by SMHN for Swedish, and for Union European we used they developed the FANFA model. So with this FANFA for this moment, it has a good skill in our place, but we have to calibrate, to improve it again with meteorology data and hydrological data. Okay. So in this way, it will be very better it will improve this model, but it's already developed by SMH, Swedish Meteorological and Hydrological Service. So we use it, and we I want to say we are training it with Agrimet, who it's a regional center in West Africa for hydrology, meteorological, and agrometeorological service. So we have hydrometeorological models, which is so far, and also we use again Agrimet Center. We used Web LRI, which is very interesting too, because it's developed too with Japanese. So with this system, we can calibrate in I want to say a little place of basin, a little location in the basin, and how to know which is the exutory and the high level, to know how water, when water impact this basin. So with it, we use two HMS, which is a when flow models too, which so this all those models used data of raining and data of hydrological, but we have to here in our national level, we calibrate it. Yeah, we calibrate it in each place, and when we see that the skill is good, we use it for giving our assistance. But now, what I want to say, the assistance that we give is now for energy company, which use hydrological hydroelectric dams, also for water ministry, which has the water resources management. So yes, in this kind. But now we want to use some other hydrometeorological models, because the three that are given as example or that we use have limits sometimes. So others one can come to make it very nice. So it's very interesting to have many models, but and to use it as well. Thank you. If I answered to this question.
Great, thank you. And we have another question. Do
Yes.
you apply integrated water resources management to your watersheds?
If I understand this question, so it's a kind of integrated water management.
Integrated water resource management. Do you apply an integrated water resources management approach to your watersheds?
I want to say that yes, because it's a platform that we are always I want to say we are always soliciting. So, I mean, we are the National Meteorological Service. So each activities which is climatological or meteorological, which have climatological or meteorological sensitive, we impacted. We are obliged to give the assistance, and so for that we work with water resources managers, which has water ministry or what forest ministry, and also the national for good water direction. So we are in the kind of platform where when they have to know if they really have some raining in some days, they call us to give this information. If sometimes we have the product, we can give them the way to follow the resources we approach them to give them the solution that we have. So sometimes together we find how to find some solution to make it operational. So we are very now we are very I want to say approach to them for the national NFCS, yes, National Framework Service initiated by WMO. So climate service for each activities that we have that we have the lead in Cote d'Ivoire, and that we have to give some real information for the users of this platform. So if your question is, I understand your question. Yes, my answer will be that.
Thank you. Good answer as well. We've got time for one more. So final question, unfortunately. What are your top meteorological data gaps that remote sensing satellites do not currently provide in the Cote d'Ivoire?
Yeah.
So just wonder where are your key data gaps, Ahmed?
Yeah. Excuse me, can you repeat the question, because I understand the first one. But, yes.
So the question is, what are your top meteorological data gaps that remote sensing satellites do not currently provide in the Cote d'Ivoire?
Yeah. Okay. So if I listen again, what I have to say, you talked about the remote sensing, yes?
The question's asking about remote sensing, but actually, it may be interesting for the audience to talk about data gaps in general. So if your Met Service could wave a magic wand, what would you want more data on, and how can you potentially get there as well? What would help you?
Okay. So I have said that I've talked about VGClim, which is a big project for meteorological for National Meteorological of Cote d'Ivoire, where we have the ambition to cover all our activity, all of the users of national meteorological information. So for that, I think in this project, each activity, each users, because they are shared in 6 sectors. So energy, water resource and energy, agriculture, transport, and other. So for water management, and so we would take some models. We have to develop some hydrometeorological models for improve again. As I said, we use already some models, but now it's to I want to say develop the own model for all our basins with hydrological service. So it's to develop it, and this project could do it, but as I said, I'm not the director of the meteorology service, but I know that each fund, each help is welcome, because we are doing the step, we are doing something, but we want to make it very better and to make it very well. So I think, yes, as I've said, I'm not the director, but I know that we need help for making it better and to improve it again. So if I understand again your question, I think it will be my answer. Yeah. So I think, yeah. if it's the help for improving our what exists already, it's very, very welcome for that.
Great, thank you. And unfortunately, that's all we have time for today. So, just a quick reminder:
Okay.
we hold these on a weekly basis. So, thank you all for attending. We've had a really good audience today. Next week, for those who are interested in early stage financing, but particularly for projects in Africa, and particularly if you are a professional at an African Met Service, please join us for that. It's on the 14th. It starts at the same time, so that's 9:30 a.m. New York time, which is 2:30 p.m. in the UK at the moment. So it should be a good time for all of you to join. With that said, I really want to thank Ahmed. That was a great presentation. Thank you for spending so much time on it. You know, we were really trying to encourage more of these case studies because we think there's quite a lot of value that our wider audience derives from what's going on at a very local level. So yeah, it was good. And if anybody does have any questions for the speaker or for anybody at Verisian or anybody who even was on participating as a viewer today, let me know. You can message your peers directly using the network, so you can exchange messages. All confidential. We don't see any of the exchanges that are going on. So it's just a useful way of catching up with each other. You can even request meetings as well if you want to. We have more information in the social media feed on the platform as well. Some interesting stuff posted today, in fact, so please take a look at that. And in the meantime, if you do have any sort of questions about joining and anybody you think would like to become a member, please contact me or contact anybody at Verisian, and we're very, very happy to help. But thank you again, Ahmed, and hopefully see you soon, and hopefully see the rest of the audience soon. Thank you very much.
Yes, it was a pleasure. Thank you too.